What's up, All In Media Squad? It's your boy Cookie back at you with another one. You know the drill. Subscribe to the reel and turn that thumb up blue if you feel. Let's get straight to it, AIM Squad. So this one's going to be about Zell Alexander RAWLS, better known as Zell Munna. And he is the cousin of oblock T-Roy, HK, and oblock Slutty, who was killed alongside Kingvon in Atlanta. Now I want to put emphasis on the point that Zell Munna is not a stranger to loss, because going around the internet, there is a rumor that Zell Munna took his own life because of the fbgduck case or due to baby mama drama. So we're going to take a look at both those reasons, and I'm going to show you how they do not line up with what I think really happened to Zell Munna. So first we're going to take a look at the baby mama. Now at the time, Zell Munna thought that this woman by the name of Naya was to be the future mother of his child. But later down the road, he finds out that the child is not his, and that the father is none other than BCG Sean. Now, a lot of people would think, yeah, that's a big hit to, your personality, your ego, and he just took himself due to that. And I have to claim that's cap, because like I said, he's not a stranger to loss whatsoever. He lost 3, I'm just going to call them brothers because they were brought up as such. He lost T-Roy, HK, and then Slutty, along with Kingvon, who else he was also close with. When you grow up in the ghetto and the hoods, the 2 things that you're first acquainted with is loss and death. And like I said, Zell was not a stranger to that. So with that being said, I highly doubt that he would take himself out over a situation like that. Now that brings us to the fbgduck case. A lot of people are alleging that Zell Munna was on scene during the hit and was actually one of the shooters that ran Duck down. Now at first, when this happened, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I believed it, because Zell was brought up with T-Roy and all the close guys and was really close to the guys that Duck was dissing in a lot of his songs. Would that push him over the edge to grab a gun and go run Duck down? So if that's the case, then why don't we see his involvement in this alleged paperwork that hit on Reddit? Zell Munna allegedly went to the hospital high on whatnot, and then the nurse calls 911, gets an officer down there, and that Zell basically told her what went on with the Duck hit and that he was paid $10,000 for the hit and that the money and the gun were in said backpack. Now when the nurse heard about this backpack, she asked Zell where the backpack was. That'd be my first question. Zell reaches down to grab it somewhere, and he starts to freak out because the bag is not there. Now, when officers arrived, allegedly, they went and looked for cameras around the area where paramedics alleged that an unknown individual came and picked up said backpack that Zell Munna threw in the garbage can. So they go to look for this camera, and they couldn't see the incident of backpack going into garbage can or anyone coming to pick it up. It was just not on camera. So if it's not on camera, which I'm assuming it would be, near a hospital, high traffic area, there's got to be some cameras there. But no, we don't see any of that allegedly. Now I will refer you to the circled section you see here in the red. They say, and I quote, "Based on the information documented in this supplementary report, there is no evidence that blank was involved in the murder of Carlton Weekly on August 4th, 2020. Then that blank was released without charging." A lot of people are going to be like, oh, it's blank. That's not Zell. Like, if you do your own work and do your homework, you'll find out that I'm not the only one alleging that Zell went into this hospital and such. I didn't just pull that out of my ass, you know what I'm saying? But if you actually dig into this paperwork that was leaked, you'll come to find Zell wasn't charged in any of this. Now, if he's dead and gone, don't you think that they would just put his whole name on blast, saying exactly what he did to fbgduck and all that? We're seeing it right now with Kingvon and how the CPD is trying to put all these alleged hits that Kingvon did while he was in the streets alive, and they didn't do anything to Von while he was here. They waited for him to be dead. And Zell Munna, he is also dead, so what's the difference with putting his name on blast? So I really don't think Zell offed himself due to the pressure of the fbgduck case. if he was allegedly in the hospital and they cleared him, you know? Which then brings me to the next one. If he wasn't involved with the fbgduck case, if this paperwork that was leaked on Reddit is true, then the rumor of Oblock killing Zell has to be false. Because out of anybody here, don't you think Oblock knows who was on the hit? Don't you think the ones involved with said hit would know if Zell was on scene with them and if whether or not he could handle the pressure of this whole case and not snitching, so they took him out for it? You know, make it make sense, guys. Now brings me to the real reason why I think Zell Munna is no longer here with us. Throughout my years of living on this earth, I've come across many a walk of life, if you will, and I have strayed from the path that I have should and have gone down the drug path, if you will, and had countless friends accidentally take too much of a certain drug or a pill and overdose. Just because they overdose, that does not mean that they did it on purpose. You know what I'm saying, AIM Squad? They just accidentally took too much. It's not like the FDA is out here regulating these street drugs that you can go down to the corner and buy. So I just think that Zell was, you know, he was just off one too many, and he thought he could handle it, you know, and it just led to his demise. Because in the drug game, fentanyl is at an all-time high right now. And even back when Zell died, it was still at an all-time high. And people are dying left and right because of it. And it varies from batch to batch. One batch, you might not notice it. Then the next batch, it's like a nuclear bomb went off in your brain. You know what I'm saying? But I seriously do think that Zell was just doing what he usually does. As you can see in his last live, as people say, how he looks so depressed. It just looks like it was a regular schmegular day for Zell right here, you know? Which then just turned into him ODing on accident. And then people basically just concocted the story of him doing it on purpose. All I can say really is Miss Tanya has to be a very strong woman, because she lost 4 very close people to her and she's still trucking. So I just want to give a big shout out to her. And we're going to close it out with a bird release in Zell's name. And as always, it's your boy Cookie with All In Media. It's all in or nothing. I'm out.